This time, we are actually going to start lying down, okay, on the floor. So not in a seated position, but instead we are going to lie ourselves down on the floor, flat down, with your hands resting on your belly. But like we do at the beginning of each session, I still want you to take those deep breaths in, long breaths out, as a way of settling yourself. And then after you've done that a few times, start to find a nice rhythm to your breath. Just a nice inhale and exhale length that you feel like is nice and comfortable for you. And then with your hands down by your belly, just feel the gentle rise and fall. Also think about a particular area of your body that you would like to focus on today. Maybe give it a little tweak. And also I'd like you to think about what mental state you are in right now, regardless of what it is. An opportunity to just learn about how you're feeling in this moment without the need to try and change it. Yeah, now starting right down by your toes, just give your toes a little squeeze and then start to tense up the rest of your foot, maybe even cycle around your ankles. Good, then releasing your foot, start to squeeze your calf muscles and also the muscles surrounding your knees. Good, moving that, squeezing up to your quads and your hamstrings and your bum. And through into your abs, your lower back, and your chest muscles and your shoulders. Going down the arms, just giving your hands a squeeze, making fists. Squeeze your eyes, squeeze your mouth, and then release everything. Good. Let's take another long breath in, and as you do, let's bring our knees towards our chest and gently just rock yourself around your lower back. So doing tiny circles in either anti-clockwise or a clockwise direction. And then start to take them the opposite direction. So if you were going clockwise, go anti-clockwise and vice versa. Good, let's bring your hands down beside you, palms facing flat down onto the floor, and then imagine that you're doing a slow motion bicycle kick up towards the ceiling. Good, now just relax both legs. Just let them hang over the top of your body. Good, now we're going to extend out our right leg, press that heel forwards, and then lower it down towards the floor. Good, let's do the same thing with the left. So press that heel forward, straighten out the leg, and then bring it down towards the floor. Good, we're going to bring our hands a little bit further up towards our body and then high enough so that you can start to press your elbows down and lift yourself up onto your elbows. I like this. Good. So once you're resting on your elbows, your palms are flat down onto the floor. I want you to take a strong breath in and lift your hips and point your toes. Good, and then lower. Relax. Good, again, inhale, lift your hips, point your toes, and relax. Good, last one, lift your hips, point your toes, and relax. Good, use your elbows to press yourself up so that you come onto your hands. Now take your hands back a little bit here and point the fingers forwards. Now we're going to do this lifting of hips again. So when you're ready, take a long inhale, press your hands down firmly, lift your hips up and point your toes. And again, lower yourself back down. 2 more like that. So inhale, lift the hips, point the toes, and then lower. Good, last one. Inhale, lift the hips, and then lower. Good. Sitting upright, just shake out your fingers and your wrists. Turn your head from side to side and bring your knees in towards your chest. Good. We're going to take both hands over towards the left-hand side. You may not be able to get your right hand down like me, because I can't twist round enough. But just take a twist to the side. Good. And then come back to center. Hold your legs. And then take a twist over to the right. Good. Come back to center. Now press your hands down nice and firmly so you can roll yourself onto your toes. So you come into a little squat at the top of your mat. Good. Now staying on your toes, we're going to slowly roll our body up until eventually we come to stand tall, lowering our heels down onto the floor. Let's inhale and lift our arms up towards the ceiling and then fold slowly back down towards the floor. Good, we'll do 2 more like that. So from folding over your legs, inhale, slowly draw yourself up, feeling your spine unravel until you come up to a standing position. Good, then take your hands all the way up towards the ceiling. Bring your hands into a prayer and then exhale, fold over your legs. Seeing how controlled you can make these movements. Good, let's bend our knees nice and deeply and then start to lengthen out the legs. Good, last time, let's inhale to roll the body up until you come all the way to the top. Standing strong, then lift your hands and then into a prayer, fold yourself back down towards the floor. Good, let's bring your hands flat down onto the mat. Bend your knees as much as you need to do this. Let's let our head and neck become nice and loose. So nod it yes, shake it no. Good, then we're going to send our left leg all the way to the back of the mat. Now you want to feel like you are almost at your complete length here with your legs. So like you can't go any further apart. Good, now hold it here. Imagine you're trying to squeeze your 2 thighs together and then look forwards. Breathe. If you feel your hips sinking down, lift them up and help that by pressing your left heel back. Breathe. Good. Now we're going to lower our left knee down towards the floor. We're going to plant our left hand into the mat and just shift our right foot a little bit further out towards the right hand side. Let's bring our right hand on top of our right knee. And then as we inhale, we're going to press our right knee away from us and our chest away from us, from the knee, sorry. And then take a little leaning back here. Good. Before bringing yourself back to center, let's bring that right foot back in and relift the left knee. Good. Now, either in a series of small steps with your left foot or in one motion, bring that left foot all the way to the top of the mat. Good. Again, hang over your legs, straighten them out as much as you can. It will lift your body a little higher, but just so you can feel a little bit more of a stretch running up the back of your legs. Good. Let's rebend into those knees and then lift our arms, staying as low as you're able to, into a chair pose. Good. Press the floor away and come all the way up to standing. Good. Palms come together again and fold yourself back down towards the floor. Good. Bring your hands down onto the mat. Bend your knees nice and deeply. And we're going to send our right foot all the way to the back of the mat and really shimmy that foot as far back as you can. So you're getting as much stretch into those inner thighs. Then squeeze your inner thighs together and look forwards. Again, if you feel your hips drooping down, just lift them up and strengthen them with your legs. Breathe. Good. Now slowly we're going to lower our right knee down towards the floor, plant our right hand in, and then slowly shift our left foot out towards the left-hand side a little bit here. Good. Let's bring our left hand onto the inside of our left knee. Take a long breath in and then exhale. Push that knee away from you. Send your chest in the opposite direction and see if you can look towards the ceiling. Long breath in. Steady breath out. Good. Let's bring that foot back in towards the center. Relift your right knee. Good. Again, either through a series of small steps or one big step. Take yourself all the way up towards the top of the mat. Good. Again, lengthen out your legs and then hang loose over the top of those legs. Good. Rebend into your knees. Stick your bum back and lift your arms. Chair pose. Good. Press the floor away. Come all the way up to standing. Reach your fingertips as high as possible. Stretch out the sides of your body and then exhale to fold all the way back down towards the floor. Good. Bend your knees nice and deeply so you can get your hands into the mat. Again, we're going to take our left leg all the way back. Good. Now we're going to lower our left heel down towards the floor. We're also going to bring our right hand so it's onto the inside of our right leg. Okay, so we're facing off to the left-hand side to the top of the mat. Good. Now you may just want to stay here, or you can walk your hands forwards to get yourself a little lower, or you can bring yourself down onto your forearms. So you'll just have to play around with what your body is allowing you to do here. So long as you're able to stay here and breathe for at least 3 breaths. Good. And then after you've finished your 3rd breath, walk yourself back round to the front. Unplug your left heel so you come back onto the toes. And then this time we're going to step our right leg back into a plank. Let's lower our knees to the floor. Let's make it nice and easy to begin with. Good. Now draw yourself forwards over your fingertips. Bend your elbows to lower yourself down towards the floor. Untuck your toes. Roll your shoulders back. Pull yourself up into a cobra. Good. Let's press ourselves back, tucking our toes and coming back into downward facing dog. Good. Now see how slowly you can walk your feet up towards the top of the mat, coming away from the floor with your hands at whatever point you feel it works. Good. Let's roll our body up, nice and controlled. Interlace our fingers and then reach them towards the ceiling, palms first. Good. Make yourself as long as possible before bending your knees and folding yourself back down towards the floor. Good. This time we're going to take our right leg back. Good. Same as we just did. So we're going to lower our right heel down towards the floor. And then bring our left hand onto the inside of our left foot. Good. So we're heading towards the top right-hand corner of the mat here. So you can either just move your hands slightly further forwards, or you may be able to come down onto your elbows. Have a play around with what your body is allowing you to do here. Wherever you are, find that spot and breathe. 3 breaths. Good, and then slowly bring yourself back round towards the front. Unplug that back heel so you come back onto the toes. Good. Again, we're going to send our left leg back into a plank and then bring our knees down. Good. Inhale strongly. Let's pull ourselves forwards over our fingers. Bend the elbows. Chest comes down. Pull forwards and up into a cobra. Breathe. Squeeze your bum. Squeeze your heels. Good. Then shift your hips up and back and come into a child's pose. Good. Let's reset our breath here. So the rate that you were breathing before at the beginning of the class, just find it again. And restore yourself. Good. When you're ready, let's start to move our hands back, forwards and towards the top of the mat. Tuck your toes and lift yourself up and back into downward facing dog. Let's take a long breath in here. Then sigh it out. Good. We're going to draw our right knee underneath us. Come forwards over the top of our hands and then step that foot up as far as you can in between your hands. If you don't quite make it, you can pop your back knee down and shift the foot up manually with your hands. No need to worry about cheating here. It's getting your feet into the best location that you can. Good. Once you're ready, let's lift that back knee if it's not already lifted. And then lift fully into a high lunge. Good. Once we're in our high lunge, I want you to reach your hands up nice and tall. As you exhale, cactus your arms. So bring your elbows in line with your shoulders and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Good. Let's inhale and re-reach our arms towards the ceiling. Exhale, cactus your arms, squeeze those shoulder blades. Good. Inhale again to lift. Exhale to squeeze. Good. We're going to bring our hands down towards our waist first. We're going to try and shift our waist so that it's pointing straight forwards. Good. Then move your hands so that your thumbs are interlacing behind your back. Now press the hands away from you to take your shoulders back, and then see if you can press your chest forwards. So a little shoulder stretch and release. Good, let's bring ourselves back and then fold ourselves down towards the floor. Good, let's draw that back foot up. Again, either through a series of steps or through one big step. Good, let's roll it up nice and slowly. Once you come to standing, interlace those fingers again. Reach the palms towards the ceiling. Breathe. And exhale to fold yourself back down towards the floor. Okay, we're going to step both of our feet back into a plank. Lower our knees to the floor, or if you want to, you can keep your knees raised and take yourself through a chaturanga and back into a cobra. Good, tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. Good, long breath in. Sigh it out. When you're ready, let's curl the left knee underneath you. And again, step it up in between your hands, popping your back knee down if you need to, just to shift that foot into the right location. Good. Lift that back knee when you're ready. And then inhale to lift into a high lunge. Good. We're going to go through those cactus movements again. So inhale, lift your hands. Exhale. Squeeze your elbows down in line with your shoulders. Good. Inhale to lift. Exhale to squeeze. Inhale to lift. Exhale to squeeze. Good. Let's drop our hands back onto our waist. Move your hips so they're pointing straight forward, just in case they stray off to the right. Good. Then we're going to interlace the thumbs behind us and then reach them back. Now, press your chest forwards. Hold it there. Breathe. Good. When you're ready, shift yourself back. Uninterlace your thumbs. Bring yourself down towards the floor. Again, bring your back foot up through either a series of steps or one big leap and roll yourself up. Good. As you start to come up to standing, again, interlace the fingers, reach your palms towards the ceiling. But this time we're going to take our feet a little bit further apart as we start to dip over to the left-hand side. Good. Breathe. Come back to center. Long breath in. Exhale, let's go over to the opposite side. Good. Come back to center. Bring your hands down by your side. Re-interlace your thumbs behind your back. Press your thumbs behind you so your shoulders shift back. Take a long breath in and lift your chest. And then exhale. Small bend into the knees. Fold forwards. Good. Once you've fully folded to the best of your ability, I want you to gently move your hands forwards and backwards as a way of pumping into the shoulder. Good. Let's release our hands down towards the floor. Bend the knees nice and deeply and step yourself back to that plank. Option again to keep your legs raised or bring your knees to the floor as you pull yourself forwards. Over the tops of your fingers, bend your elbows, lower yourself down to the floor. Untuck your toes, roll your shoulders back, open your chest, cobra. Here, bend, squeeze your bum, squeeze your heels. Breathe. Here, let's shift our hips up, tuck our toes, make our way back into downward facing dog. and breathe. Good, again, let's walk our feet up towards the top of the mat, coming as far up before lifting your hands away and rolling your body up to standing. Good, let's find ourselves into a mountain pose here, where our shoulders are relaxed, our palms are pointing forwards, our eyes close, and breathe. Again, finding that resting breath rate that you had at the beginning. And reminding yourself of that part of your body you wanted to focus a little more on. Give it a tweak. See how it's feeling. Good, then making our way back towards the top of the mat if you're not there already. Lift your hands as you inhale. And then exhale, fold forwards. Good, bring your hands down onto the floor, bend the knees as much as you need to. And let's start by taking our left leg back and lowering the knees down towards the floor. Good, we're going to start to walk our hands back towards us. Now, if you're not able to take hold of the floor as you do this, you can always bring your hands up onto the top of your thigh, your right thigh. Then, just using your toes and your heels, shift that front foot forwards. Okay, until it's reasonably straight. You know, you might even keep a small bend into the knee if it's more comfortable. Good, now keeping your hands either on your thighs or you may still have your hands down here on the floor. I want you to press your chest forwards until you can feel a stretch running up the back and sides of that extended front leg. And breathe. Let's draw ourselves back up. Let's rebend into that front knee, being aware that the foot is a bit further forwards, so you may not be able to bend fully, and then bring your hands back towards the top of the mat. Good, just shift that front foot back a little bit so you get a little bit more purchase, and then lift the back knee away from the floor. Again, small series of steps or one big step to lift yourself towards the top of the mat. Roll up and then stretch out. Good, before folding back down towards the floor. Good, bend your knees nice and deeply and then take your right leg back. Lower your right knee down towards the floor. Good, let's start to shift those hands back again. Again, option to bring your hands up onto the thigh. Top tip here is to take the front foot a little bit wider to help with balance. So it's not quite like you're on a tightrope. Good, again, use your toes and your heel to shift that front foot forwards until your leg is just about straight. And then begin to press the chest forwards until you feel that stretch up the side and back of that front leg. Breathe. Good, then let's rebend into that front knee, shift it back and more towards the center, just to get a little extra hold. Lift your back knee away from the floor, but this time we're going to step that left foot back to a plank. It's going to be your last one. So either do it in your legs raised or knees down, making a good one as you pull forwards through a chaturanga and a cobra. Before pressing yourself back into a child's pose. Breathe. Good, and then nice and slowly roll yourself up. So you come to sitting on your heels, or if that is not comfortable, you can do this next bit with your legs crossed or legs out in front. Okay, it's more about shoulders, so as long as you're comfortable beneath the waist. Good, let's take the hands wide and reach them up towards the ceiling. Good. Let's make a little prayer at the top of our head and then stretch them long. Good, now bend the elbows and send that hand back behind you. Keeping the elbows trying to squeeze together and lift them up. Good, let's re-extend that prayer. And then re-bend those elbows. So the fingers are pointing straight behind you. Good, re-extend. And then bend those elbows. Good, now keeping your arms where they are, fold yourself over your legs, wherever your legs are. And breathe. Good, then slowly lift yourself back up. Re-extend your hands towards the ceiling and then part them and bring them down towards the floor. Good. If you can't take hold of the floor, that's fine. Just reach as if you're going towards it, but take the hands a little bit further back so they're kind of in line with your feet. Good. Let's roll the shoulders back. Take a long breath in. And then exhale to again fold forwards. Keep reaching your hands back. Good. Slowly draw yourself back up. Hands come back in line with your hips. Left hand plants into the floor as you reach the other arm over for a side stretch. Good, let's windmill our hands slowly over to the other side and take the stretch on this side. Good, and then come back to center. Good, shrug the shoulders back. This time you can either walk your hands forwards with you as you fold or interlace the thumbs behind you as you fold over your legs. If you've interlaced your thumbs, then reach those hands towards the ceiling. And again, like we were doing before, pump your arms forwards and backwards. Good. Slowly roll yourself up. Back towards your seated position. Good, no matter where you are, shift yourself onto your bum and swing your legs around. Good, just press your feet forwards, but curl the toes back towards you. And then gently start to walk your hands up your legs until you can't reach them any further. Roll the shoulders back, which will undoubtedly take your hands back with you, but that is where your hands should now be. Now from here, grab hold of whatever part of the body your hands is adjacent to, and then press your chest forwards. Good, and then roll yourself back to your seated position. Let's take the feet together, so the soles of the feet are touching. Again, you may have to adjust how far your feet are away from your body, but try and bring them in as close as is comfortable to you, and enough that you can still sit up straight. Good, either taking hold of your feet or bringing your elbows or forearms to rest on your inner thighs. Find a position where you can still sit up straight, but you can put some kind of pressure onto your inner thighs. Just a gentle weight to encourage your inner thighs to open and stretch. So you should be feeling this in here. And breathe. Now, if you're someone who has your knees right down on the floor and your feet are as close as they possibly can to you, instead, you'll need to just strengthen your inner thigh muscles. So squeeze them and hold them strong. And breathe wherever you are. Breathe. Good, then nice and slowly, let's bring those knees back up towards one another, making sure that you're lengthways along the mat. Feet are flat down and knees are bent. Bring your fingertips as far forwards as you're able to do. Take a long breath in. And then for the length of your exhale, run your fingers back as you begin to roll yourself down towards the floor. And once you've come all the way down onto the mat, bring your knees back in towards your chest. And just redo those small circular motions around your lower back. Moving nice and slowly. And then start to change the direction that you are moving in. Good, let's extend our left leg forwards and down towards the floor. Good, taking hold of your right knee with just your left hand, draw it across your body. Taking your right hand out to the side and turning your head to the right as well, into a crocodile twist. Being mindful to keep your right shoulder blade flat down on the floor. Good, then nice and slowly, let's draw that knee back to where it was. Send it out to meet the left as you draw the left up towards your chest. Good. Taking hold of that knee with just your right hand, do the same thing. So drawing it across the body, left hand comes out to the side. Left shoulder flat down on the floor. As you take it into a deeper little twist. Okay, nice and slowly, let's draw that leg back. Instead of sending that left leg out, let's bring the right leg back in. Good, take the knees nice and wide, and then thread your hands through the center of your legs, taking hold of the outside of your feet. Now feel where your lower back is pressing down on the floor. We want to keep the pressure there. So only start to lift your legs until you feel that part starting to lift away. When it does, lower your legs a touch. Here is your happy baby. You don't have to get your legs right to the ceiling if it means rolling around on your upper back. And once you've found that point, rock yourself gently from side to side. Good, then release your feet. Send them out towards the front. Bring your hands down by your side, or again to rest on your belly like they were at the beginning. And then starting at your toes, do that body scan where you're squeezing each muscle individually, making your way up your legs, through your pelvis, your torso, down your arms, to your fingers, back up to your neck, your jaw, your eyes, and then let it go out the top of your head, relaxing every single part of your body. Just letting your breath even out. And then think about what sort of state of mind you're in now. And as you inhale, draw your knees back in towards your chest. And as you exhale, roll yourself over to either the right or the left-hand side as you begin to draw yourself up to a seated position that is comfortable for you. Let's take a long breath in together. And then let it go. And begin to flutter your eyelids open. Thank you for joining today. I hope you have a good rest of your week, even though it's meant to be rainy and blustery and generally horrible outside. But to all of you who have joined today, but most importantly to yourselves, make sure you bow and say namaste. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks, Andy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andy.
Have a lovely day.
Andy. Bye.
Bye.